These are 8 signs of a weak real estate agent. Now, why would I make a video outlining 8 characteristics of a weak real estate agent? It's so that you can have awareness so that if you find yourself behaving like some of the things I'm going to talk about in today's video, maybe you can alter your behavior. Let's be honest. The last thing that we want to have happen is that you continue to behave like the agents behave that end up failing out of the business. So let's jump into it. Number 1 is neediness. And so the first sign of a weak real estate agent that's heading the wrong direction is one that is very, very needy. What I mean by needy is this: they behave in such a way that they repel clients. Oftentimes they have what we call commission breath. Oftentimes they are over communicating with clients because they're so desperate. They don't want to lose anything. They have a very scarcity mindset because their need for approval, their need for income, their need for clients is so high that sometimes it comes off and it repels clients. Number 2, weak agents work with bad clients. Well, what do I mean by bad clients? I'm talking about sellers that aren't motivated to sell their house or buyers that aren't motivated to want to actually buy a home. They want to look at 1,000 houses over the next 3.5 years before they make a decision. You maybe take a listing that you know is overpriced. You know the seller's not motivated. You take it at a crazy discounted commission under terms that are ridiculous. But because you're so needy, because you're so desperate, you take what you can get. You see, the sign of a weak real estate agent is one that works with clients that other successful real estate agents chose to pass on. Number 3 on the list, stops prospecting after a tough call. You know you're a weak real estate agent when you have a conversation with a prospect, it doesn't go the way that you want it to go. And because of that, because you're looking to get your emotional needs met in a prospecting phone call, which is the last place we should be looking to get our emotional needs met, we start doing the activity that we know we should be doing that will lead us to the income that we want. Number 4, they never stay at one brokerage. Another sign of a weak real estate agent is the brokerage hopper or the team hopper. You see this all the time. One agent stays at brokerage A for a couple of months and they say to themselves, well, let me try this other brokerage. Let me try this other brokerage. They never look in the mirror. It's all external. They place their success, their failure, their wins, their losses on external factors that they cannot control. And one of those things is they bounce from one company to the next, thinking it's the brokerage responsibility to make me successful. Number 5, constantly chasing shiny objects. Another sign of a weak real estate agent is one that can never stick to one strategy. Every time you see them, every time you talk to them, they're telling you about the new sexy marketing thing they're doing. They're telling you about the new strategy, the new tactic that's going to fix all of their problems. Rarely do they understand that sticking to one thing long term and being consistent with that one thing long term is the true secret to success. They bounce from one thing to the next. They rack up tons of credit card debt, trying everything under the moon, versus the most successful agents. We know that it doesn't matter about the tactic or strategy. We know that agents win with multiple different tactics or strategies. In fact, it's not the tactic or strategy that determines if an agent is going to succeed or not. It's the character trait. Well, Brandon, what do you mean it's the character trait? Well, isn't it reasonable to say that you probably know a real estate agent that is succeeding in every single tactic or strategy that you can think of? You probably know a successful real estate agent that door knocks. You probably know a successful real estate agent that makes outbound cold calls. You probably know a successful real estate agent who does internet leads, sphere of influence, referrals, so on and so forth. So that's the evidence that we need that it's not the tactic. It isn't the strategy that determines our success or our failure. It is our character traits. Number 6, they seek approval from others. So one of those main character traits of a weak real estate agent is this desperation, this need to be liked, this need to get approval from others, constantly seeking validation. They're constantly wanting to talk to the broker and wanting to talk to the manager. Am I doing a good job? Mr. and Mrs. Client, am I doing a good job? And they come across as smothering. They come across as such that makes people skeptical that they maybe aren't doing the right things because they're constantly this need for approval from other people. Someone who's actually doing the work has this built-in confidence. And the exact opposite is true. Those that aren't actually doing the work that actually leads to results, often seek this manufactured approval. Number 7, they tell anybody willing to listen about their plan. Now, they don't execute the plan. Every time there's an agent who walks by their office or their door or they're out and about, they're the ones talking the big game. I'm going to be doing this year. I'm going to have this event. Check this out. Here's this new thing I got. Here's what I've got going on. They talk a lot about what they're going to do. It's just rare that they ever do it. This is that old adage of like the big, talk's a big game, but there's no action to back it up. This is a sign of a weak real estate agent. So here's the thing I will leave you with in this video. If you are an agent right now and you're just not where you want to be, and you are open-minded enough to have a coaching relationship, in other words, you embrace accountability. You're looking to get into a relationship with a coach who is willing to confront you and teach you what it takes to win in this business with building a listing-based business. I'm going to put a link right underneath this video. I would invite you to schedule some time for us to have a conversation. And then through that conversation, we can decide if working together in a coaching relationship makes sense or not. And here's the reality. I'm not the coach for everyone. And so if we find that working together right now doesn't make sense, it's all good. My goal with these videos here on YouTube is that you get to a place where you're having a certain level of success so that you can take the next step when you're ready, and we can get into a coaching relationship so that you can reach your highest level of potential.